And now I'd like to welcome my guest, Erin Strazewski. How did I do with your last name, Erin? Pretty good? All right. She's the Community Engagement Manager at the Anoka County Library. Thank you so much for being here. Now, post-COVID, how are the libraries doing? Are they back to where they were before COVID, or have you made some changes?
Well, I don't know that anyone made it through COVID without any changes, but for the most part, we're back to where the libraries were, what people know and love. As far as our doors are open, we're having in-person programs, but there's a few things that we learned from COVID that we'll probably always keep at the library. So we tried a lot of virtual programming during COVID, which was something we'd never done before. And now we're back to most of our programs are in person, but we still have some virtual ones because we know that that makes it easier for some people to come. So some things like that will always stick around, I think. But for the most part, the libraries are back to what people are used to.
Very good. Now tell us a little bit about the locker room hours and how you've changed that up.
Yeah, the lockers were another project that we put into place during COVID. It made contactless pickup possible, where people could just come in, grab their holds from lockers and leave without ever having to come directly into the library. And so we have those at 4 locations. 2 locations in Blaine and our Mississippi and our St. Francis branch all have lockers. We recently extended the hours, so they're open from 4 a.m. to midnight now, 365 days a year. So even when the library is closed, people can come in and pick up their holds, especially if they have a different schedule than what works well for our library hours, then they can come in early in the morning, late at night, and still get their items.
Very good. Now tell us also about auto renewal, what that means and how that's changed.
Yes, so auto renewal is another convenience for our patrons. What we've learned is that fines aren't really the biggest reason people return their items on time or not. It's more about, oh darn, I forgot they're due today, or I'm just really busy and I didn't have time to stop by the library. So auto renewal does an auto check on all your items 3 days before they're due. And if no one else is waiting on that item, then it automatically renews it for you, so you have more time to get it back to the library. If somebody is waiting, then it will send you a notice saying this item can't be renewed, and it is still due on the original due date. But that way it gives people that extra wiggle room, and it's just another convenience, kind of like you expect. I have my payment set up on auto pay, or I get my groceries auto delivered.
Right.
And so now people have that at the library too.
Very good. And another thing you did was some students fell behind during COVID because they weren't in the classroom. So you started Reading Bridge. Tell us about that.
Yes, so we know a lot of research shows that reading by 3rd grade is a big indicator for students of whether they're going to graduate high school, make it to college, and a bunch of different things for setting them up for success in life. So we looked at the reading scores in our county. Unfortunately, only about half the students in our county are reading at grade level by 3rd grade. So, and we know that COVID has impacted that with the disruptions to education and all of those kinds of things. So we have volunteer reading mentors. They meet at the library once a week with their student. They play reading games. They read to the student reads to them to help them practice those skills and build confidence. And so this fall was the first time we had it at all of our branches. We had 54 pairs across our different libraries across the county, and it's been going really well. It's finishing up this week, and we'll start back in February for students and their mentors again. And so we're always looking for volunteers for that program as well. It's a once-a-week commitment at the library, meeting with the same student every week.
Fantastic. And briefly, tell us about the Winter Reads program before we wrap up.
January 1st through February 28th, people can join us, share book reviews, log their reading minutes, and do activities. It will culminate with our local author fair on February 25th with best-selling romance author Abby Jimenez as our keynote speaker.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Erin, for joining us today. We really appreciate it. So many great things happen at the library, and we appreciate you coming to tell us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.